Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my 5 weeks pregnancy update. So if you want to find out how I've been doing this week, then keep watching. I tell you something, I still can't quite believe that I'm here making these videos, but it looks like I am. If you have not seen my videos before, then this is my 3rd baby and this is a surprise pregnancy. I didn't expect to be pregnant or whatsoever. So let's get into it. Well, hopefully you can tell by this video and my mood, I'm a lot more upbeat than I was last week. Obviously I'd only just found out last week and I was quite shocked. We weren't expecting this, it was quite an adjustment, and then obviously we've got medical reasons that makes me slightly apprehensive because I've got a 50% chance of having a poorly baby at the end of this pregnancy. So if you want to find out more about that, I will leave a video link down below, but I want to continue positively now, so let's get into how I've been feeling, where baby's at and all of that jazz. So I'm going to start with baby, and this week at 5 weeks baby is now the size of a sesame seed, which is about 2 millimeters long, and in terms of development baby is developing very rapidly and now has a T-chambered heart, which is so cute. So this week, well, the biggest thing that's happened in the last week, and this actually happened last Thursday I think, so we'll have been 4 weeks and 2 days pregnant, but I got myself a digital clear blue test again and I am now 2 to 3 weeks pregnant on there. I took another one today, which is this one, and it still says I'm 2 to 3 weeks pregnant, but I'm hoping that soon I will move up into 3+ weeks, so it just shows that my HCG levels are, progressing well. I have to say that I am one of those addicted to peeing on a stick kind of ladies. I'm actually going to film a video after this which is pregnancy test progression, so if you're interested in that then look out for that. Make sure you subscribe because it will be coming soon. And I've just really found comfort in watching the lines grow darker, and I find it's helping me sort of bond more with this baby and accept this pregnancy, because obviously I wasn't expecting to be pregnant. I hadn't planned, I hadn't like prepared myself and taken like preconception vitamins or anything like that, so I feel like this is helping me a lot. And those lines have been getting darker and I have been feeling more and more pregnant by the day. So on to symptoms. I would have to say that my biggest symptoms at the moment are, well, skin is the first one. I get the occasional breakout like anybody does, but for the most part I have really quite decent skin. But I have had crazy breakouts like in the weirdest places. I've had them like on my ears, I've had them on like my upper hairline, which I never ever get, and they just pop up randomly and they're quite big and then they just go after a couple of days, and it just seems to be like a hormonal thing where they're like sprouting out on my face. So I'm not enjoying that, but I've just been taking extra care to be very gentle with my skincare routine at night and not put anything on that's going to be too aggravating to my skin. And then the other biggest symptom for me is the fact that I just can't stop going to the toilet. I constantly need a wee, it feels like anyway. I am thirsty and drinking a lot more than usual, but I just feel like it's not even that, it's not even like that I'm drinking more, it just feels like I've just got a lot of pressure and I have a big urge to go to the toilet all the time, and I know that this is due to an increase in hormones which causes this to happen, but my goodness is it annoying. Another thing is that I can feel my boobs filling out. Now what I'm going to touch on in a minute is that with my last pregnancy with Daisy, I've got a little boy who's 5 called Bill and a little girl called Daisy who is 14 months. With her, obviously her pregnancy is quite fresh in my mind still, and I remember my boobs being so sore that in my 5-week update with her I moaned about the fact that when I went from lying in bed in the morning to standing up, when my boobs like sort of fell into place, they would really hurt. Whereas this time round they haven't been that sore at all. And then what I'm getting onto is that I know I'm only 5 weeks, but this little fetus in my belly, well this little embryo in my belly, knows that they are a boy or a girl. it's already decided, and I am convinced already that this baby is a boy, because I am getting deja vu from my pregnancy with Bill from 5 years ago, more so than my pregnancy with Daisy. Now, I've only ever had 2 children, and 1 of each, so I do have things to compare it to. I can compare those 2 pregnancies, but I'll never really know if that's just because every pregnancy is different, or if I carry boys and girls differently. But I've just got a weird vibe, and while my boobs don't feel sore, they definitely feel, my nipples are more tender and they feel fuller to me. Another thing is that I am starting to feel more and more tired with every day that passes, but what I have noticed is that with my first, obviously, if I was tired and I wanted to nap, I would just nap. I had no dependence, I had no, like, nothing to do. I just went to work and came home and relaxed. With my second, when I was pregnant with her, I found that so hard, because I was at work and then I'd come home and then I'd have a child to look after, and weekends were busy and I couldn't nap, and I found that really difficult even at this stage. Whereas this time round, I know I'm only 5 weeks, but already, because I'm so used to always being on my feet and it being quite hectic, I'm not finding that as hard, and I'm not having to go to bed as early. But I've already noticed that I'm like creeping upstairs at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, purely just so I can like relax, because I've had really bad backache. And I've also had growing pains at the sides of my stomach, higher up, so it's nothing that I'm concerned about in terms of, like, you know, any serious pains that could lead to maybe bleeding or miscarriage. They've just been higher up, and I already feel like my body is changing, because it's only been 14 months since I gave birth, and I feel like my body's like, girl, we've got this. We're just gonna do some moving around, reshuffle things a bit. But that's honestly what it feels like is happening at the moment. And yeah, I think that is all my symptoms, to be honest, at this stage. Now, with both pregnancies I've had previously, the sickness really started around the 6-week mark, so I am very nervously approaching 6 weeks and thinking, oh, this is going to be good. I do get quite bad sickness. I wouldn't say it's on the HG side of things, but I do have prolonged sickness. I think it is longer than perhaps the average pregnant lady. And with Bill, my little boy, I was more physically sick, whereas with Daisy, my little girl, I was constantly queasy. So I'm just going to take each day as it comes and see how I feel. But so far, so good. And I'm just going to make the most of this last week before, you know, doom and gloom starts next week. So what else? I have told people, a few people, I've told a few friends, and I've told close family. And by that I've told, like, my mum and dad, and Mark's told his family, like his mum and dad and sister. I need to tell my brother and his girlfriend, and I want to tell my grandparents next. I don't know if I said in my last video, but we have booked a 6-week scan, a private scan, just an early one, just because I feel like it's going to help me bond. I've never ever had an early scan, and this is going to be presumably our last pregnancy unless I get crazy broody in the future. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it, because it's the last time that I'll probably ever get to do something like this. So we've booked that, and that's happening on the 22nd of July, which will be a Saturday. So I'm going to vlog that day, probably, maybe even the weekend, and then I will set that live at a later date with all of these videos, so you can see like what it was like and all of that. And yeah, I'm doing well. Like, I just feel like already my body's changing, and I can't wait to tell people, and I'm hoping that I can hide it until 12 weeks and none of you like rumble me, particularly with things like Slimming World and weight loss, because I'm assuming I'm going to get a little bit porky by 12 weeks, and I don't know if you're all just going to think I've gone off the rails, but you'll find out soon enough. So yeah, I'm going to quickly show you my belly. I would say my pregnant belly, but it's just a very bloated belly at the moment, and then I'll let you go. So I'm just wearing a floaty top because they are my friend at the moment. I'm still in my normal skinny jeans, but I don't know if you can tell, but it's more up here. I feel like I am bloated down there, but I feel like everything's shunted up at the moment. And I have just had lunch, but it was only a ham and cucumber and salad cream sandwich, because they are perfect at the moment. But I don't know about you, but I feel like my body's already starting to change. And I know at the moment a lot of that is going to be bloat, but this is where we're at. So that's me from the front, and me from the other side as well. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, I would love it if you subscribed and followed me on this little baby journey with me, especially if you are pregnant, because I need some pregnant friends. I don't have any pregnant bump buddies yet and it's driving me crazy. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.